Hey everyone, it's the Amazing Flec here today, and we are going to show you how to juggle scarves. I would suspect that many jugglers out there would likely say that learning how to juggle with scarves is probably the easiest way for people to learn how to juggle. The reason I say this is because when you're juggling scarves, they tend to fall a lot slower than, say, a ball because of the wind resistance. I think it's a wonderful effect. Kids generally tend to like it quite a bit because you don't see people juggling scarves very much. So to begin, you're going to want to locate some good juggling scarves. You can either purchase some off the internet somewhere if you do a Google search for juggling scarves, or you could even go to, say, maybe like a fabric store and buy some fabric, preferably in different colors because it makes it look a little bit more interesting. What you're looking for is something very, very sheer and very, very lightweight. You want to make sure that when you throw it up in the air, or rather when you drop it, because unlike toss juggling balls and clubs, when it comes to juggling the scarves, you have to do a completely different grip. So the way you grip the scarves is not like this with your palms up. You want to grip with a palms down method with your wrists in the air. And what you want to do is lift them and drop them when you're juggling scarves. If you try to juggle the scarves underhand, it doesn't really work out so well, and you find yourself having to twist your hand around every once in a while so your hands don't get caught up in the flow of the scarves. But if your hands are pointed down, you can bring them up and then drop them. Just like that, bring it up and drop them. You could try to search around your house and find various scarves that you can juggle. I have tried learning how to juggle with Kleenexes. Those don't quite work so well because they tend to be kind of stiff and rigid in some ways, especially with that crease down the middle. And when you drop it, it tends to like fall and fold one direction or the other. You can kind of think about that effect that you get when you make a paper airplane. If it's got folds and creases in it, it's going to redirect the airflow in a way that's not quite advantageous for the purposes of juggling scarves. So it's good to have some scarves. I mean, you could think about cutting up a t-shirt, but once again, t-shirts are a bit too heavy, even if they're really, really thin t-shirts. You need something very, very thin, very, very sheer, very, very lightweight, and preferably probably even a synthetic fiber, because synthetic fibers tend to be a little stronger, a little more durable, and also a lot less weight. There's less mass for the amount of strength you get out of synthetic fibers that are made from like acrylic or polyester. But you could experiment with various fabrics around your house. Just get your parents' permission first before you start cutting up stuff with scissors. Important safety tip. Because as far as safety tips on my channel go, I like to give a warning every single time people are about to learn how to do something new here and let them know that they should do it at their own risk, and of course always be aware of their surroundings. Use a little bit of foresight, a little bit of common sense, and make sure that you're not putting anything at risk with whatever you're learning here on my channel. So that goes the same here with these juggling scarves, and of course with trying to make your own juggling scarves with random bits of material in your house using scissors. Probably don't do that unless you actually own the stuff and you're willing to cut it up and take a risk, because you don't know how they're going to function after you cut them up. Anyways, let's get right to it. So when you're going to juggle, you're going to want to start with just one of the three scarves, and you're going to want to learn how to bring it up and drop it. And you're going to feel maybe a little ridiculous doing this for a while, but you want to switch between the two hands, just like this. You bring it up, and drop it. You can even throw it all the way up in the air as high as you can go and then catch it. The higher up that you can toss this scarf, the more time you have to react to it when it comes back down. So toss it up high, wait for it, and then when you go to grab it, it's going to come down from the top and grab it. Once again, you want to avoid using this palm up approach to juggling scarves. You want your palms to be facing down the whole time as you grip, and you just kind of help it stay in place, or even throw it up extra high in the air to get more time to catch and toss the juggling scarf. So after you get comfortable with just lifting up one and dropping it and observing how it wants to behave, when you're using various fabrics, you'll notice they want to move one way or the other, or if you tie a knot in the fabric, sometimes you'll discover that it always wants to fall. If you have a knot tied in one of the corners, you'll notice that there's more weight there, and that will be the spot that falls the fastest with a tether behind it. And that can be a really nice effect, but that's probably best for more advanced jugglers. This is something that is for beginners, therefore you want to keep it all nice and open and even. So when it falls straight down, relatively straight down. It's going to move around because of how air resistance works and air currents. So you can probably imagine if you're learning how to practice outside, it's probably not the best bet. You might want to learn how to practice juggling scarves inside, or if you do go outside, make sure there's not a lot of wind. Otherwise, that's just a recipe for disaster, frustration, and maybe a few cuss words. If That's how you express your anger. When you're ready, you can go ahead and pick yourself up another juggling scarf, and we'll do the classic game I like to show here on my channel when it comes to juggling: toss, toss, catch, catch. So let's see here. This is red, so this signifies stop, and this is blue. We'll pretend it's green, and this signifies go. So we'll start with the right hand, my right hand. I'm going to toss it up in the air. That's one toss, and then while that's in the air, I'm going to go ahead and toss this other one up in the air. Toss, toss, catch, catch. The nice thing is that right after you toss that first one in the air, you toss the second one in the air, your hand's already up there, ready to catch the one that's already up there. I'll do it again. We'll start with the blue one in the right hand. Just pretend it's green. This one's going first. And we'll have the red one in my left hand. Ready? We'll toss the blue one up, followed by the red one. While the red one's in the air, I'll grab the blue one with my left hand and then grab the red one with my right hand. Here we go. Toss, toss, catch, catch. There it is. Very good. So now we'll notice that the blue one is now in my left hand, meaning that we're going to want to start with this one. If this is green, this means go, red means stop. We'll do it again. It's going to feel different because we're going to go in the other direction now. Now the blue one's in this hand. Let's try again. Toss, toss, catch, catch. Toss, toss, catch, catch. It's that simple. It really is that simple. And once again, the advantage of having the sheer cloth and juggling scarves is they tend to move a lot slower when they come back down from when you drop them. So after you get comfortable practicing the toss, toss, catch, catch with just 2 scarves, and if you're feeling up to it, it's time to pick up a 3rd scarf. So picking up a 3rd scarf, you're going to want to develop a strategy all of your own to how you want to grip them, because if you try to just let go of one in the air, you might let go of both at the same time, which is chaos and not ordered. Juggling is all about controlled tosses and catches and releases, and being in full control and full awareness of how the props you're juggling are going to function based off of how much energy you put into them and which intention, what kind of intention and what kind of energy you put into them, to spin or to not spin, to go really high, to go wherever. So it's a matter of connecting with that through trial and error. You're going to mess up a lot, and that's okay. That's part of the process of learning how to juggle. Don't let the little mess ups bother you, and treat every catch as a success. Oh, and before we get any further too, remember to keep this in mind. This is very important. When you're learning how to practice juggling or anything else new, if you find yourself getting either excited or frustrated while you're practicing, it's a good time just to set it down, take a deep breath, get some food in your stomach, drink some water, take a break, listen to some good music, relax a little bit. And then when you're relaxed and you're in a better mood, come back and pick up your props, and you'll find that you're probably going to do a lot better than you were before. You're more relaxed, you're more receptive. So when you're more relaxed and receptive, you are going to be better at learning whatever it is you're trying to learn than if you're excited and frustrated. It makes sense in theory, but sometimes it's easy to forget when you're trying really hard to learn a new thing and you're getting really, really upset, and it becomes like this internal struggle and this internal conflict where, no, I'm going to learn. Just take a break. Come back later when you're feeling good. Anyways, enough of that Zen hula boo. Let's move forward. So we're going to hold it just the right way. So the green one or the blue one is the one that goes first, followed by the yellow one next, and then the red one will be the last one in the sequence. So what I like to do is take my pinky finger, my ring finger, and grip the last one in the sequence, and then grip the one I'm starting with between the thumb and forefinger, or even between the thumb, forefinger, and middle finger. We're going to have to do this grip with either one hand or the other, because when you have 3 objects you're juggling and you only have 2 hands, you're going to have to hold 2 in one of your hands. There's no way around it. Unless you do this approach. This is fun. Wait for it. Ha! But due to current events around the globe and viruses traveling because of moisture droplets in one's mouth, it's probably advised that you do not use that method, especially if you're entertaining crowds of people. And it's just one of those methods that's probably be dated until we get herd immunity. Anyways, let's reset these back to the beginning. There we go. So we'll start with the blue or the green, we're pretending it's green, then the yellow, and then red. Just think your stop signs. Are you ready? We'll do the toss, toss, and then we'll have to catch, toss, catch, toss, catch, toss, catch, toss. Think of it like braiding. We're braiding, but from the underside up. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, toss. Every time I bring one up, I'm catching the one that's already up there is a good way to view it. And I'll say it again, the advantage of learning how to juggle with these scarves is that they move so slow. When you're tossing balls in the air, they go up and they come down just as fast as they go up. With these, there's a little bit of a lag, a little bit of a flowy lag, and that's great. And they move so slow, in fact, that it's probably a really good way to learn how to do various other patterns. So here we have our typical juggling pattern, and if we want to have fun and switch things up, this is what I like to do. We can toss one really high to get started, and then we can swap the two on the outside. I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to toss the, let's see, the blue one really high, and then we'll trade places with the red and the yellow. Here we go. Outside, 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 outside. And that's a fun one to do. It's a little more difficult to do when you're sitting down on a couch and trying not to hit a camera. So when you're standing up, it's a good way to practice is by standing up, not by sitting on your couch doing this. When you stand up and you bend your knees a little bit, you can find that you can move a little bit more and account for a little bit more errors in your motions, as well as any wind currents that might happen that blow these around. I mean, look, you saw what I did when I blew it up in the air. It doesn't take very much force to get these moving. We'll have to put this in outtakes. Let's try that again. It doesn't take very much force to get these moving. Wait for it. Oh, it fell outside the range of the camera. Well, anyways, folks, this is how you juggle 3 scarves. It's the simplest way I know how to teach juggling, and I think it's likely, for many people and many types of people, likely the easiest way to learn the basics and the fundamentals of juggling. So if you start by learning to juggle with these scarves, it's likely to teach you how to learn how to juggle and give you the confidence to take on other things to juggle. Because once you learn the pattern and once you learn the concept behind how the juggling pattern works, it becomes a lot easier to start learning newer things when it comes to juggling, different patterns. Learning how to juggle different objects, like say you can start with these scarves, then you can move to balls, then you can learn how to do clubs, then maybe rings one day. I'm convinced if you have any 3 objects and if you are physically able enough to pick them up and toss them in the air, you can probably find a creative way to learn how to juggle them too. And always remember too, if you find yourself excited or frustrated, put them down. Come back when you're relaxed and receptive and you'll find you'll have a much easier time, and you'll learn a lot faster too if you're receptive and calm and relaxed. So that's all I got for you here today, folks. Thanks very much for tuning in. I appreciate it very much. If you're new to my channel, every single Sunday I post another circus and flow arts tutorial every single Sunday for the year of 2021. So if you want to learn how to juggle balls, or if you want to learn how to juggle clubs, or if you want to learn how to do contact juggling, like that thing David Bowie does in Labyrinth. Pretty cool, huh? Or you can even learn how to spin things on your finger. Here, I'll do it with myself right there. It's called pediddling. It's when you spin anything flat on the tip of your finger, anything from square couch cushions to serving trays like I'm using there, or even ring binders and books that are nice and flat. Or you can even learn how to do the devil sticks. That's something else I've been doing for a very, very long time, and I'm not particularly good at any one of these things that I teach, but I do know the basics, and I feel good that I can teach the basics, and I feel you can also learn how to do these things if you watch these tutorials, and if you practice, if you're physically able to, and if you just don't give up and you believe in yourself. Alright everyone, thanks very much for tuning in, and happy Easter Sunday to everyone out there also. Make sure you check out my playlist section to see all the various circus and flow arts tutorials, as well as a bunch of other content I post every single day here on YouTube, and I am a hot mess when it comes to posting random chaotic things that I'm interested in. So hey, check out my playlist section, you might find some things that resonate with you and that you might like. And that's it. Remember to never give up, do your best, stay true to you, and be amazing. Peace everyone, thanks for watching. Good night.